Big government has historically been a disaster. It causes massive dislocations in the market, and the economy never gets it right when it's being controlled by the state. And you can see this right now in the socialist and communist nations, and it is clearly evident that this is occurring right now in the United States and other countries around the world. And I'll show you how the US is quickly becoming just like Venezuela. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. With goods scarce in Caracas stores, street sales boom and officials glower. Let's look at this right here. This individual needing to buy diapers for her child. And if I just scroll down very briefly right here, it says the store refused to sell her diapers because of a government rationing system that allows her to buy only 2 packages of 20 diapers per week. Now, the government suggested that that amount is all she needs. But what if the baby requires more? She's obviously going to the store looking for more. She's willing to pay for it. She's willing to do whatever it takes, but they say no. You've been rationed. So the government makes the decisions for the people. And this is an extreme scenario, but we see the same thing happening on our borders. We see how the government is getting involved in every facet of our lives. And this is a big problem because it is becoming more and more of this nanny state that I am speaking out against. And I know you are too. Now let's go into more of this. Venezuela's Maduro cuts prices of toys and computers in the Merry Christmas plan. So instead of allowing the individuals to get more diapers and other simple items, he is there dropping the prices of toys and computers, things that are not essential, but of course the government knows best. This information is out of Reuters, but it's all over the place, and you can see this even historically, how they had price controls and wage controls in practically every country at some point, and you know the result has never been good. The government can't decide what prices should be set at. The market needs to set that price. Nobody's going to buy something if it costs too much. That's just the way it goes. There needs to be a supply and demand factors which will determine the price of anything, but that's not how it works anymore. So let's connect this in with this. Now, where is the money going exactly? Where are they putting money into this? Are they helping out the people? Are they really creating programs that do assist the public? Well, look at this. American cell phones targeted in secret U.S. spy program. Devices on planes that mimic cell phone towers used to target criminals, but also sift through thousands of other phones. Isn't that very interesting how they're continuously spending multi-billion dollars in order to spy on their own citizens when they should be doing this, creating programs to help out the poor, to help those in need, to create a real stimulation of the economy. And instead, they do nothing but support the military-industrial complex, the banking sector, and all of those things that are not really essential, or at least should not be funded to such a high degree. We're not seeing that right now. Now, to go back to Venezuela, this is what we're seeing in the US and in Europe even as well. Public spending as a percentage of GDP. There's no doubt here that Venezuela is doing such a terrible job at keeping this public spending down. They're higher than all of these other countries, and this is going to show you how they are making the wrong decisions. Whatever they're doing, it's going in the wrong direction. And this is another one here. This is foreign public debt right out of the Venezuelan central bank, and every year it's increasing. They are doing this, and this is no different than the other countries, but Venezuela is looking very weak right now. But look around. In Europe, we have maximum unemployment. We have in the US, we have real unemployment being very high. And of course, nothing is being done to fix it. So we're going to get a little crystal ball action with the governments like Venezuela when we see them making the same mistakes that our governments are, and then we're going to see their fate take place, and we will suffer the same fate, I assure you. This is out of Fox News. State budgets fudge the numbers to hide massive debt. If you thought that everything was okay, and if you think that everything that CNBC tells you is very accurate, we need to look at the real stats. We need to unveil the truth. That's what we do here at the Money GPS. Let's scroll down further into the article where they said this. Aside from the nearly $18 trillion national debt, many state governments are looking at future budgets that are trillions of dollars in the red. That's right, trillions of dollars in the red. And they've hidden the numbers by dramatically under-reporting that debt, according to a new report. And right here they said the unfunded liabilities of nearly $5 trillion. And that's a low ball number. But they said that, the debt is much lower than that. But that when you look into the real stats, you find out that they're missing out on trillions of dollars. This is incredible. And they're not accounting for it. So, once again, as I said, we see the problems in Venezuela, and I'm sure they're fudging their numbers too, but we're going to see them crash. We're going to see how bad the people have to suffer before the government is going to give in, and then you will see that same fate take place in all of these other countries. They're making the same mistakes, so why in the world wouldn't we have to accept the same destiny? In my book, I talked about the IMF. They make a lot of these things right here. Let's look at this. The debt terms of the IMF were used to force countries to virtually give away their most precious economic assets, foreign interests, in order to pay a debt that grew ever larger. We're seeing countries all around the world accumulate more debt. There's very, very few countries that I'm aware of that are doing okay in terms of debt. They're all accumulating this because the system is designed in that way. They accumulate more and more debt. And like I just said, they're going to have to sell their assets. Greece has done this, and various other countries have done this as well. And that is what they want. They're going to push countries like Venezuela into harder and harder times. The IMF will come in and they will create their own terms. They will have to force them onto the terms where they will never be able to pay back. And as a result, they're going to have to sell off some of their assets. There will be many companies that will go in there and they will open up shop and of course take advantage of them. And this is the reason I mentioned this is out of Bloomberg. Danish IPO scandal poison for the market, a Nasdaq official says. And you can see how this company in 6 months' time went from $1 billion IPO to completely bankrupt. The reason I mention this is because things can turn around in an instant. Everyone's watching the market go higher. Everyone is saying that there is always a way to push this market higher and higher. Don't worry, just keep pumping your money in. But the fact remains is that this can turn around in an instant. If you're putting your savings into this, you're taking a risk. And that is what I do not want for the people. Do not take the risks. Right now, we are at an extremely vulnerable time. There is so much fragility in the market. And I just wanted to mention right here that my book is on Amazon, and I hope that individuals will help me out by reviewing the book. If you've bought it, please go over to Amazon and just put a little quick review. It would really help me out a lot. I really appreciate that. Right now it's actually 15% off at Amazon. Thank you to every single one who has read the book. I sincerely appreciate that. Take it and give it to your friend or give it to a family member, and hopefully they will read it and then pass it on as well. And I would also ask you that if you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to become an insider. The Insiders is where I give out all my best intel for free, and that is available at themoneygps.com. You scroll down to the bottom, fill in your email address, and you get occasional emails from me with good, short, concise info.